Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We are heading back into r/AmITheDevil, and if you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up the wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. Also, if you guys would like to save 10% on your next order of gamer subs, use code Tommy at checkout, or click the link down below. It'll automatically apply the discount to your transaction, and it helps support the channel. Thank you. Am I the a-hole for not reaching out after a friend bailed on meeting us on her birthday because we were 15 minutes late? Recently, it was a friend's birthday. She works in a different department at our company, and since we thought that she'd be out of town for that day, my colleagues and I celebrated with her that day before. We gave her a thoughtful gift, spent time together, and everything seemed fine. Later, we found out that she was actually in town, so the three of us casually said that we'd see if we were free after work to meet her again. Nothing fixed, just a let's check in tomorrow kind of plan. After work, she said that she was free to meet. My colleagues and I were nearby, but we stopped to quickly pick up a small additional gift. That made us about 15 minutes late. We own that, and we weren't trying to make her wait. But before we could reach, she had actually left. No call, no "where were you?" Just text saying that she was pissed that we had made her wait, and that she had other plans. So we called and said that she didn't want to talk because she was upset and it wasn't the right time. Later, she texted that she was still in the same area. She didn't want to meet anymore. We were honestly taken aback. A quick call before leaving would have been appreciated, especially since we've waited for her plenty of times in the past, oftentimes up to 2 hours, when we knew that she had other commitments after work. We've never really even thought about it until now. The next morning, we left a small gift at her desk. She came to us with a "good morning," to which we honestly didn't reply as we were still processing everything that was and quite upset. She left saying, "Let me know when you're ready to communicate." At the end of the day, she quietly returned the gift and left. We're not angry, just genuinely confused and disappointed. The way that things went down has left me feeling quite trashy, like we committed some kind of crime or something. And now we're sitting here wondering if we're the a-holes. So, am I the a-hole? ETA, we did speak to her over a call and told her that we were 15 minutes away. Admittedly, it took us more than 15 minutes, and about 20 to get there. We were told that we were 15 minutes away, and she said that she was leaving her place to get to the cafe, which is about 5 to 10 minutes away. My original guess was we were 10 minutes late because we got a text saying here from her exactly 11 minutes before she left. Also, to add more context, here her pissed off text started around 5 minutes after her first text. Didn't want to add too much detail, so I wanted to keep it unrecognizable, but I believe we are beyond that point. Also, her last text came at the same time as we parked. That made me question if she saw us before leaving, but I do understand that we were late and should have communicated that same. I also know this whole thing is stupid, and a part of me just wants to go to her and say that this is all stupid and not even such a big issue. But another part can't stop thinking that the way that she reacted was not okay. Edit 2, we thought that she was out of town because she said that she was going to be on leave and away. So we all discussed and decided to meet a day before. You know, if you were actually going to communicate that, then it might have been good to actually state that that's why you wanted to, meet up before, because you thought that she was going to be out of town, and if there was any confusion, that could have been cleared up in an instant. Like, if I'm going to be late to a place, I'm going to let people know, hey, I have some sort of ETA, because, God forbid, it's not like you can't have an ETA of sorts. You know, it's totally not like Google Maps exists. Would I be the a-hole if my neighbor wants to cut down my 30-foot cherry tree in his yard that overhangs my yard, but needs my permission? I like the tree. Would I be the a-hole if I don't give him my permission? My neighbor has a very large, about 30-foot tall cherry tree in his backyard. The trunk is about a foot or two from the property line, and the branches overhang my yard quite a bit. I like having the tree there, because it provides the only shade that my yard gets. It blocks the view of the houses behind us, and I pick the cherries from it every summer. He hates the tree. It's very large. The cherries drop off of it and rot. I can only pick about 1/16 or to 1/8 of them with just a ladder, and he doesn't like raking the leaves. He has contacted the tree and arborist service that will file permits with the city and prune the tree. He wants them to cut it down to a 4-foot stump and let it regrow to a more manageable size. Where I live, he is legally entitled to do what he wants with a tree without my permission, although the city requires a permit. However, he needs my permission to have the company do the work, because they will need to clear the debris from my yard. I really don't want that tree to be cut down. It will radically change the character of the yard, and will take away the one refuge from the harsh sun that we have. I wouldn't mind so much if it was just a pruning, but what he is suggesting sounds like it would just kill the tree. It would take at least several years before it would be bearing fruit again. On the other hand, I feel like I would be holding him hostage by not giving them permission. He is a good neighbor and has always been kind and generous. I'm torn. Would I be the a-hole if I don't give him permission to have the company cut down the tree? Edit. To clarify, because of these issues, I have been mentioned several times, the company will not proceed with the removal without my permission, because they are required by law to remove any debris that lands outside my neighbor's property. My neighbor is unlikely to cut down a 30-foot tree by himself. This isn't a job that can be done safely, and he's also a very reasonable, law-abiding person. Planting a new tree is a great idea, but it will take several decades for a new tree to reach 30 feet. Edit 2. I suspected that I would be the a-hole, but I just wanted to make sure. It's been an interesting experience being on the other side of one of these for once. A lot of people see things in a very black and white terms. I'm grateful to the people who offered some advice on how to resolve the situation, and for those who inferred from my choice of would I be the a-hole that I am trying to avoid being one. You're getting really upset over this whole, shade thing. Meanwhile, you're too lazy to go out and get, a damn awning or something. Go to Walmart. Spend, $50 getting one. If they're not bad, you can use them at tailgating events. You could fold them up. You can move them. I don't know what you're getting upset about. Oh, I want to pick the cherries. Go to your local farmer's market. You'll be able to pick a whole bunch out of that, and you'll be able to eat them too. Then also, sometimes wild cherries are not the most safest thing to be eating, so that might not be too smart of an idea for you to be picking them from the get-go. In a lot of places, when it comes to these kind of trees being on two properties things, the justification and whoever gets to pick what to do with the tree comes down to whatever side the trunk is on, so it kind of seems like your neighbor should be able to cut down the tree and you not really have any say-so in it. That, and also, you already stated you can't pick most of the cherries anyway, so you're not really losing out much in the cherry department either. Am I the a-hole for accidentally making my brother lose a leg? You ever see some of these and you just automatically think, alright, why are you trying to justify these? But, okay. I'll make this very short because of character limitations. Also, everything that happened in this story happened at December of 2019. And not now, while the world is crazy. That ever implied it wasn't crazy. So, at the time, I, 22F, was pregnant at 19 weeks. And my parents invited me and my fiancé to live with them. They have a big house. Nothing luxurious, but a big house. We accepted because at first, the first-time parents, we probably wanted some help and some advice from someone who had 3 children already. And also my father, 55M, used to be a doctor before retiring. At one night, my parents received an invitation to go to a social party at one of their friends' house. This friend lives in Africa, and they come to our country every once in a while. At this Friday, he decided to invite my parents to a social meeting, and with another friends. So I was at my parents' home with my fiance and my younger brother, 17M. We all went to bed and woke up in the middle of the night with terrible cravings from one specific type of pizza that was on sale, and this happened at about 2 a.m. I woke up my brother and asked him to go get it for me. This specific pizzeria works 24 hours, but they don't deliver. He didn't want to go because he didn't like driving, but I ended up convincing him. I didn't want to send my significant other because if I needed any other thing, he would be there for me. My brother went to the pizzeria but didn't come back. I tried calling him, but he left his phone at home. After that, I called his parents and told them that my brother went to the pizzeria and didn't come back. My parents come back home worried sick and asked what happened. At about 6:30 a.m., we received a call from my uncle saying that my brother was involved in a car accident and we needed to come to the hospital. Getting there, we were told that my brother was stopped at the traffic light returning from the pizzeria. Apparently, some drunk driver was having a race with a friend and ended up crashing a car that my brother was at. Apparently, because of the injuries, the doctors had to amputate my brother's leg. As my brother wasn't awake, my father passed most of the time trying to speak to doctors, but my mother asked me what was I thinking when I decided to send my underage brother so late at night to get food instead of calling and asking them. I felt attacked by what she said, and I responded saying that it wasn't my fault that there was a drunk driver, and I couldn't have thought that my brother would take the main avenue back home. Usually, my brother uses another way to our house, but as it was a night, he used the avenue. My mother told me that my fiancé and I needed to get our things and go back to our house because we weren't being sensitive to my brother's situation. Since then, my mother was giving me the cold shoulder and almost doesn't look me in the eyes. Am I the a-hole in this situation? You posting online about this and asking people if you are the a-hole in the situation has me thinking that there isn't really a level of guilt that you feel for this. Unfortunately, it does also seem like they provided some context for stuff, because a little bit of an explanation goes a long way, but still I'm going to be very much stating that you are the a-hole in this. I'd like to make a comment compiling some of the things that were said. Because of character limitations, some things were left out. 1. My brother usually doesn't like driving. He is very insecure and thinks that he is terrible at driving, which is why he didn't want to drive. But as it was night when he was coming back home, I felt a little more safe to take the main avenue because there was almost no one driving at the time. 2. After my fiancé and I went back to our home, I obviously went to the hospital to see my brother almost every day. My brother never blamed me and never changed the way he spoke with me, but it was obvious that my mother didn't tell him what I said. 3. After the whole situation, my mother still speaks with me, but is always short and always evasive, as if she doesn't want to talk to me. 4. Our daughter was born premature with 26 weeks old, and my mother was around, helped a lot, and are being wonderful with our little girl. But she's still a little cold to me. My father was a little cold at the beginning, but now he went back to his old self around me. My mother is still a little cold to this day. 5. My brother never discovered what I had said, and asked me before why Mom wasn't on that good terms with me. I said I didn't know. He is recovering well, and even made some jokes about becoming a cyborg now that in the future he is on to use a prosthetic leg, and he's thinking that it would be entirely made of metal. Yeah, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that the court ruled in favor of you being the a-hole still, because of those negative 734 downvotes. So let's see, you already knew that he didn't want to drive, but you pestered him to get him to drive, and also you did that at a weird hour. Yes, there are less people on the road, but that doesn't mean that there are less dangerous people on the road. A lot of people do some sketchy stuff at 2 a.m. outside. One of the reasons I don't exactly go to the gym at 2 to 3 a.m. I tried it once, and the time I got there was some dude wanting to fight one of the employees outside. Nope, not doing that again. And I respect a lot about your parents because they know that your baby is not part of the scenario, in the sense that it is their fault as to why your brother lost a leg. So I'm glad that they're not taking any type of their anger out on the baby, and are just more so extremely disappointed with you. And yeah, God forbid your mother be pissed with you after you almost ended the life of her child and, your brother. But, losing a leg, oh, he'll walk it off. Yeah, fine, great job. You want to keep that one up? Because you got a wonderful vibe of what type of person you are around other people. It doesn't really seem like you're accepting that any of this was your fault whatsoever. Chalking it up to a whole case of, well, how was I supposed to know this bad thing was going to happen? It doesn't really feel like any pregnancy craving to any level justifies what happened. Am I the a-hole for refusing to meet my grandchild without my wife present? I, 56M, have a daughter, 24F, who had her first baby 8 months ago, and who I have not met yet. My daughter's mother died over a decade ago, and met my now wife within a year. Since then, my daughter and wife have had a very strained relationship. I think it comes down to the fact that my wife was a stay-at-home mom to my daughter and her son from a previous relationship. So, she was very involved in the parenting of my daughter, which I don't think she liked. My daughter has disrespected my wife and her authority many times over the years. We ended up kicking her out of the home a week after her 18th birthday due to the fact that my wife wanted her to take the pill over fears of her getting pregnant, and she refused. My daughter said that she was an adult and didn't want her body to be controlled, despite us acting in her best wishes. I believed after that she stayed with some friends before meeting her boyfriend and moving in with him. I have had limited contact with my daughter since she turned 18, and she has had zero contact with my wife. When we found out my daughter was pregnant, my wife was so excited and bought clothes and other gifts for the baby and sent them in the mail. We received no thanks from my daughter. 2 weeks before the baby was born, I contacted her and told her that my wife and I would come down to help her with the baby after it was born. My daughter refused our help and said that she would only be comfortable if I came. My wife was very upset and felt excluded and said that my daughter was being rude, especially after she had bought gifts for the baby. I told my daughter that I would not come unless my wife was present, to which my daughter replied that it was my decision to make, as she had made her boundaries clear. After this conversation, we did not speak for many months. A month ago, I texted my daughter and asked if she wanted to come and stay with her aunt who lives nearby, hoping that it would open the door for me and my wife to meet the baby. She said that she wouldn't be comfortable with that, but that she would be happy for me to come alone to meet the baby. I reiterated that I would not come if she excluded my wife. She then said that she did not want my wife in her or her baby's life, and that my wife had emotionally done this to her as a teenager. I think this is a terrible accusation, which I do not believe to be true. She also accused me of failing to support her or protect her from my wife. I do not know what I would have been protecting her from, as my wife is very kind to my daughter. I have not spoken to my daughter since then, and have given up hope that things will ever change. I feel my daughter has put me in an impossible situation where I am forced to choose between my wife and her. I want to remain loyal to my wife, and I resent my daughter for putting me in this position. I don't understand why she can't just move on and include my wife in this happy time of her life. Ah, yes, the daughter that y'all kicked out a week after she turned 18. Yeah, I wonder why that person probably don't like you. But with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye!